This is a headline from the UK Daily Mail. You ready for this? I'm going to read it slowly so you understand. Trans woman is cleared of flashing her penis at 3 women using Ohio YMCA after judge ruled she's too fat for her genitals to be visible. Yeah, see if you can follow that tells a tale right there. That is a story. Trans woman cleared of flashing her penis at 3 women using Ohio YMCA after judge ruled she's too fat for her genitals to be visible. That's right. The defense in this particular case was that a trans woman, meaning a dude, who flashed his junk at 3 ladies at the YMCA in the female changing room could not have done so because he's such a giant fatty that no one could see his twig and berries. That is the defense. Can you imagine that defense being used in court? That's like an amazing defense. They go, sir, madam, you're being prosecuted for indecent exposure of your female penis. Do you have a defense? Yeah, I'm Jabba the Hutt. Case dismissed. You, sir, madam, are indeed an incredible fatty. So fat you haven't seen your own genitals since the age of 11. Congratulations to you, madam. Your female penis and you are now free. Yes, this is the society we've created for ourselves, and it is going absolutely spectacular. We'll get to that in just 1 second. First, the world feels like it's unraveling. A lot of confusion out there. You remember just a couple of years ago during COVID when you went to the grocery store and there was nothing on the shelves, and when the warehouses were closed down, and when you couldn't go to a restaurant. You remember all of that? Well, that kind of stuff, it can happen again, not just because of COVID or something, also because of a natural disaster. God forbid some sort of terrorist attack. There are a lot of reasons for that. And so, just to be safe, it would be smart to have enough emergency food on hand. You need to order your 3-month emergency food kit from My Patriot Supply, the nation's largest preparedness company. With each kit you order, you receive a bonus bundle of essential survival gear worth over $200 for free. You can cross emergency food and survival gear off your list with My Patriot Supply. That 3-month emergency food kit offers your family peace of mind no matter what happens. Get over 2,000 calories a day of delicious food that'll keep you fed for a long time to come. Don't put off your preparedness any longer. Tomorrow could be too late. Go to preparewithben.com. Save $200 on each kit your family needs. Again, go to preparewithben.com right now. That is preparewithben.com. How exactly is it going to hurt to have that stuff on hand? Go to preparewithben.com right now. You never know when breaking news is going to hit, which is why I rely on my phone, right? My phone coverage has to be good at all times, and this is why I rely on Pure Talk. Remember the last time you got a free phone? You started out, you're feeling good. Then came the hefty activation fees, the 4-line requirements, and of course that binding contract. Well, Pure Talk is now giving you a free 5G Samsung Galaxy phone without the feeling you've been duped. When you switch over to Pure Talk's unlimited talk and text data plan, it comes with a mobile hotspot. You'll get 5G Samsung Galaxy for free. That's right, unlimited everything at a fraction of the price of Verizon, AT&T, or T-Mobile. Here's another thing. You will be on America's most dependable 5G network. How do I know? Well, because I use Pure Talk. Make the switch over to Pure Talk. It's the cell phone wireless company I'm proud to stand behind because they also stand behind our mission at Daily Wire. Pure Talk's U.S. customer service team helped me make the switch in as little as 10 minutes. They'll make it very easy for you as well. Just head on over to puretalk.com/Shapiro. Get your free Samsung Galaxy when you sign up for unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data. That is puretalk.com/Shapiro. Pure Talk, wireless for Americans by Americans. Go check them out right now. puretalk.com/Shapiro. Get that free Samsung Galaxy when you sign up for that unlimited talk, text, and unlimited data package. Over the weekend, there's a horrific shooting in Allen, Texas, at a mall. And federal officials immediately have come out and mentioned the motivation of the shooter in this particular case. According to the Associated Press, federal officials are looking into whether the gunman who killed 8 people at a Dallas area mall expressed an interest in white supremacist ideology on Sunday as they work to discern a motive for the attack. A law enforcement official told the Associated Press. The official cautioned the investigation is in its early stages. So federal officials are immediately leaking into the Associated Press and other members of the media that they think this is a white supremacist shooting. Now, what's weird about that is that this happened in Allen, Texas. I believe virtually everybody who was shot was white. The shooter in this case, and we don't mention the names of mass shooters on my program because as a member of the media, I try to do the only responsible thing I can do in this position, which is to not glorify by naming shooters, their actual names. The name of the shooter, and I won't mention his actual name, is extremely Hispanic. This is an extremely Hispanic name. And so it is pretty obvious that this not only is it an extremely Hispanic name, it turns out that the parents of the suspected Texas mall shooter have actually had to request a translator, according to reports cited by Fox News. The only details regarding the suspect are that he was in his 30s and lived at home with his parents. Apparently, he had some background as a security guard. There was some talk about him being discharged from the military, that he'd served in the army, and then he'd been discharged for being mentally unwell. But this is a person who is not white. This is a person with a Hispanic background. And he is immediately being labeled by the entire media in terms of white supremacist ideology. Now, it's possible this guy's mentally unbalanced and therefore a white supremacist. It's possible he's delusional in terms of his own race and therefore he believes that he's a white supremacist, or maybe he is just a white supremacist, right? All of those things are on the table. What is the evidence that he actually was a white supremacist? Well, according to the Associated Press, the shooter had a patch on his chest when he was killed by police that read RWDS, which is an acronym for the phrase right-wing death squad, which is popular among right-wing extremists and white supremacy groups, according to that official. In addition to reviewing social media posts, federal agents have also interviewed family members and associates of the shooter to ask about his ideological beliefs. According to that official, investigators are also reviewing financial records, other online posts they believe that the shooter made, and other electronic media, according to the official. The Allen police chief actually declined Sunday evening to answer questions, saying, "We don't actually have a lot at this point." And again, this is leading to a lot of speculation about whether we are being told the truth, because again, this is a person with a very, very Hispanic name and whose parents are obviously Hispanic. They required an English translator in order to answer questions from the cops. Okay. Why exactly is it important how fast the media came out with this particular narrative? It's important simply because you can tell by way of contrast how slowly the media come out with other narratives that don't actually match their narrative. It makes you doubt the narrative in this case because they've been so slow about other narratives. So let me give you an example. The Orlando Pulse nightclub shooting. So several years ago, there was a shooting at a gay club in Orlando. And the original media narrative was this must have been a right-winger who hated gay people and therefore went and shot up the gay nightclub. And then there was speculation that this person was actually a repressed homosexual, had gone to the nightclub and shot up the nightclub. It turned out that in all likelihood, the shooter was an Islamic extremist. The same thing happened 20 years ago during the Fort Hood shooting. Fort Hood, member of the military, signed up for the military, obviously radicalized by a group like ISIS or Al-Qaeda. The shooter in that particular case murdered a bunch of American service members, and we were told it was an act of workplace violence because the media decided you could not know what exactly the narrative was that drove this particular shooting. Or to take another example, there have been a bevy of attacks, including shooting attacks, on Jews by members of the Black Hebrew Israelites over the course of the last couple of years. Has there been a widespread media examination of the ideology of the Black Hebrew Israelites and their toxic, anti-Semitic, and yes, racist ideology? Of course not. We haven't had that widespread conversation. But literally the minute the media are able to identify any aspect of white supremacist ideology, they report on it. Now, this is not, obviously, to excuse white supremacist ideology, which is evil. White supremacism is evil. I couldn't be more clear about this. I've been speaking about this for years. White supremacy is one of the highest forms of evil on planet Earth. But there are many evil ideologies, and only certain types of evil ideologies get exposed by the media right away. Here's another example, the latest example of an ideology that is completely ignored by the media. We are still supposed to believe that it is a giant mystery why a woman who identified as a trans man went and murdered a bunch of Christian school children in Nashville. This is all supposed to be a mystery. We still don't have the manifesto from this person. We don't know supposedly why this person did what she did, when it is perfectly obvious to everyone why she did what she did. But we're supposed to pretend that it's a mystery wrapped in enigma. Depending on the ideology, the narrative that is supported by a particular shooting or undermined by a particular shooting, that is when the media decide that you are worthy of knowing the truth about that particular shooting. And this is why there's so much confusion. It's why there's so much speculation, because now people are led to speculate. They're led to say, okay, well, the same media that refused to tell me why this trans shooter murdered a bunch of Christian school kids, and they say that it's a mystery wrapped in enigma, that same media is jumping immediately without full information on this other shooting in Allen to its white supremacy. Well, can I see a picture of the guy? Who is the guy? What's his background? Does he have gang tattoos? Right? There's all sorts of speculation online about this sort of stuff. I'm not saying that speculation is justified. I am saying that the mood that leads to the speculation is justified because, again, we are constantly being given partial information by a media that refuses to trust us with actual facts when it comes to crime. Instead, we're just told what we are supposed to believe. And if we doubt that narrative, then it must be because we are complicit with the ideology that is evil in the math. Stick around because we are going to be joined by Mark Morgan to talk about the immigration crisis at our southern border. If you're not a member, become a member. Use code Shapiro. Check out for 2 months free on all annual plans. Click that link in the description and join us.